It's a new dawn. It's a new day. Y'all hear that? That's opportunity knocking at your door. Will you open up and let it in?
It all depends on you in order for you to reach that goal. It's all on you to reach that dream. There will be individuals that will try to tear you down, but they can't tear you down unless you let them tear you down. You can't let a situation get to you and make you give up unless you are willing to give up. You have the power and the control to do anything and everything you want to do in this world.
I did not become successful with two-family households with the income $250,000. I was homeless. I was knocked out. I was kicked out of school. I was told never to return. I did this in the midst of trials, in the midst of tribulations. Nobody gave me this. I earned it.
Listen to me. Are you willing to do the things that others won't do to help you get to that next level? Okay? If they wake up at 5, will you wake up at 4? If they send 50 letters off, will you mail off 100? If they make 100 calls, will you make 200 calls? Can you take no after no after no after no to get to your first yes? Are you deep enough? Are you strong enough to do that?
Nobody can control you. Nobody can go into your mind and change the thoughts that go through your head. So make sure you're doing everything you can to be great. Make sure you're doing everything you can to be that person that individuals can look at and say, I want to be like that person. I can look at that person and say, I know they're going after their dreams. I know they're doing all they can to be the person they were meant to be. Make sure you keep your mindset focused on their goal and their dream and not the naysayers. Not just the people that are saying you're high and mighty, because you may have those yes men in your life, or those yes women for the ladies.
Listen to me very closely. Y'all running from obstacles when in fact it's the obstacle that's going to take you to the next level. Like y'all running from pain. Y'all running from challenges. You telling me how difficult your life is. Do you understand it is the difficulty that's going to prepare you and take you to that next level?
I tell my players all the time, I coach basketball and we play in front of college coaches all the time, and I say, listen to me, if it's 5 players, coach is looking at 5 players and you one of them and y'all all do the same thing, what is it that you can do to separate yourself? It may mean you need to take 100 jump shots every day. You might have to run 20 extra sprints every day to separate yourself. Listen to me. We have a goal, we have a plan, and we're trying to get to that next level, but we have to do what others are not willing to do. Figure it out today. What is it that you can do to separate yourself from the pack? That's what it's all about.
Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network. I earned the network. I know Warren Buffett because I worked my way to Warren Buffett. I worked my way to Dan Gilbert. I worked my way to the NBA. I worked my way to the NFL. Everybody say, E, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked it. I got up every day at 3. At Monday I grind, Tuesday I grind. When I don't care what the economy is doing. I don't care who the president is. I don't care who the governor is. I don't care who the mayor is.
You need somebody to push you to the next level. You need someone to get you up and out, thinking outside the box whenever you're settled in somewhere. You always need to be going forward, because if you're not, you're going backwards. And there's always going to be that person. But you can come to me at times, but there's other people who are pushing you and motivating you to be the best person you can be. But you are that person that will only decide to reach that goal.
The people who became the most successful in our society are people who broke the rules. You know, there was no presidents for 24-hour news cycles until Ted Turner did it. There's so many people who got out of the box. Look at Apple and the birth of the whole notion of Apple, or Nike. I talk about in the book, and the birthing of that corporation, how they did something with the tennis shoe that had never been done before. If you only base your decisions on empirical data, you can only repeat what somebody else already did. If you follow your instincts and your own God-given creativity, we can go where we have not been before.
No matter who you are, no matter where you are in life, you can take the lid off of your job. And if you're wondering if you still have the lid on in your life, here are some clues that's going to let you know that the lid is still on. If you're not excited about waking up in the morning, if you're sitting around bored out of your mind, if you got time to do everything anybody asks you to do, you probably got the lid on. If when you tell your dreams to all your friends, it makes sense to them. You got your lid on, man. Your dreams should not make sense to everybody. You got to say something that make people go, how you gonna do that? That's when you got the lid off. And if I were you, I'd do that. I'd take the lid off. Makes sense to me, don't it?
When I was in high school, I must have been maybe 16 or 17 years old. And I went rock climbing in El Dorado Canyon, near where I grew up in Boulder. I'd been climbing about 3 or 4 years, and I went to do a climb called T2. Now at the time, T2 was a relatively difficult climb. And I went at it with a kind of an arrogant lack of preparation. And I hadn't prepared for being able to do certain kinds of finger cracks. I figured I'll figure it out when I get there. And I also didn't pause, and this is that thing about boldness and discipline, I didn't pause to really double check all my systems. Okay, so I'm on the 4th pitch. I'm about 400 feet above the ground. I'm going across this slanting crack system that I started to have trouble with, and my forearms started to engorge with blood and lactic acid, which means at some point, even if you're on a big hold, your hands are going to melt off. Okay. And I'm about to fall. I'm 400 feet above the ground. But it should be okay because there's protection. I'm tied into the rope. I may take a fall, but I'll get caught. For some reason, and to this day I still don't know why, my brain triggered that I should look at my knot. And I looked down at my knot. My knot had come untied. I had made the mistake of never really thinking about the best knot for certain types of situations, and I tied him with what's a bowline. Now the advantage of a bowline is it's easy to untie, right? The disadvantage of a bowline is it's easy to untie. It had come untied as I kept moving across. And it is just hanging in my harness. I'm seconds away from falling. Only now I will die. I will die if I fall off. My forearms are melting. And the knot had come untied. And so I called down to my partner. I said, my knot came untied. What is he going to do? He can't do anything. He'll just watch me fall to my death. And there was an old fixed piton in the rock that we put there from the first descent, an old soft iron piton, and I looked at it, and I probably had 15-20 seconds before my hands would unwrap, if that, maybe 10. I took a runner, and I clipped it into the piton. I clipped the piton into my that runner into my harness, and just went, please hold. And I let go. And it held. I put in a backup. I grabbed the knot, retied it, went to the ledge. It didn't convulse. I was very calm at that moment. When I got to the ledge, I went into convulsive shaking. I was sick to my stomach for days because of the whatever happens chemically. What I learned from that is 2 things. The first is that when you're in an unforgiving world, when gravity is unforgiving, it doesn't care. It never takes a day off, ever. And if you make one mistake, it can kill you. If it's the wrong kind of mistake. And what I learned is that sense of, I want to do adventurous things. I want to climb rocks. I want to be in Yosemite. I want to do things that get my adrenaline going. But I need the discipline to always do all the right preparation, to always think about the right knots, to always be cross-checking my system so that I can do those bold things and stay alive in an unforgiving environment. And as you and I spoke about earlier today, I think that's the rest. I think we're all heading into an unforgiving environment where we're going to have to be both bold and disciplined. The second thing I learned, what if that piton had not been there? We might not be here together. It was just by chance that piton was right there. And what you realize when you rewind the tape of your own life is that there are these crucial moments where if the luck had gone the other way, you might have gotten killed. And so what you have to do is to always be putting those extra disciplines in place, because I was lucky to live. And what I took from that is I never want to have to be lucky to live again. I want to live because of my discipline, not because of my luck.
I think it helps if you try and
enter an environment where you think you can learn a lot. And whether that's inside an organization, it doesn't have to be a company, it can be some other organization, or around people that you particularly admire, that you can learn a lot from. And I think that just helps expand one's horizons, and also gives the individual a sense of what excellence is really like. If you pick the right setting or the right set of individuals and done right, it's a transformative set of experiences and massively expands your horizons and the sense that you have of all the wonderful array of opportunities that lie in front of you.